You wake up defeated before your feet hit the floor. The day hasn't even begun, and already you're surrendering to the voice that says you're behind, that whispers you're not enough, that convinces you today will be just like yesterday. And so you stumble into the morning like a man walking to his own execution, phone in hand, already consuming the opinions of others before you've declared your own truth. But what if I told you that the first 60 minutes of your day contain more power than the rest of your waking hours combined? What if the thoughts you think, the words you speak, and the actions you take in that sacred window don't just influence your day, but program your entire destiny? And here's what will shock you most. There are exactly 3 morning mistakes that destroy more lives than war, poverty, and disease combined. If you're making even one of them, your potential is bleeding out before breakfast. But I'll reveal those deadly errors in just a moment. This isn't motivation. This is revelation. This is the difference between men who drift through life hoping for better and those who command greatness from the moment consciousness returns. This is how winners are made, not through luck or talent, but through the disciplined conquest of morning thought. And if you're serious about transforming not just your mornings, but your entire existence, then hit subscribe right now, because I'm going to be walking with you through the full journey. This isn't just about productivity. This is about identity. This is about becoming the man who wins before the world is even awake. The morning is not neutral ground. It is a battleground where your future is decided. It is the altar upon which you either sacrifice mediocrity or surrender to it. Every man of greatness I have studied understood this truth. He who conquers the morning conquers the day, and he who conquers the day conquers his life. But most men lose this battle before it begins. They wake to alarms they resent, to thoughts they don't control, to routines they've never designed. They reach for their phones like slaves reaching for chains, immediately flooding their minds with news, opinions, complaints, and the scattered thinking of others. They stumble to the mirror and see not a warrior preparing for conquest, but a victim hoping to survive. This is the first deadly morning mistake: mental contamination within the first 5 minutes of consciousness. Your subconscious mind, which has been processing and programming all night, is most receptive in those initial moments. When you immediately inject it with the chaos of the world, you're poisoning the very well from which all your daily strength will flow. But there's something even more sinister happening that I haven't told you yet. This is why your life feels like it's happening to you instead of through you. This is why your dreams remain dreams, and your potential stays buried under the weight of undisciplined thinking. You've been surrendering the most powerful hour of your day to forces outside your control. The morning belongs to you. It is your kingdom, your sanctuary, your launching pad. But you must claim it with the ferocity of a man who understands that greatness is not an accident. It is a decision made daily, hourly, moment by moment, starting with the first thought that enters your consciousness. Now let me share with you what the neuroscientists discovered about morning consciousness that changes everything. During the first hour after waking, your brain operates in what's called the programmable state. Your neural pathways are most malleable, your subconscious most receptive, your identity most fluid. This is when the winners strike. This is when greatness is installed. Andrew Carnegie, the man who rose from poverty to become the Steel King of America, did not begin his empire in the marketplace. He began it in the silence of morning thought. Before the world made its demands, before others spoke their opinions, before the day could scatter his focus, Carnegie would sit in disciplined contemplation, programming his mind with thoughts of expansion, of possibility, of definite purpose. But Carnegie had a secret morning ritual that he never shared publicly. A 15-minute practice so powerful it literally rewired his neural networks for wealth creation. I'll reveal that exact method to you shortly. But first, you must understand why timing is everything. Henry Ford, before he revolutionized transportation, revolutionized his thinking. Each morning, while others slept or worried about their troubles, Ford was designing the future in the laboratory of his mind. He saw assembly lines before they existed. He envisioned a nation on wheels before the first Model T rolled off production. This wasn't fantasy. This was focused morning meditation on possibility. Thomas Edison, the wizard of invention, understood that inspiration doesn't strike randomly. It visits the prepared mind. And the mind is best prepared in the quiet hours before dawn, when the world's noise cannot interfere with the voice of genius that lives within every disciplined thinker. These men didn't stumble into greatness. They programmed it. They used the morning as most men use their entire day, as an opportunity to shape reality through the power of directed thought. But here's the second deadly morning mistake that's probably destroying your potential right now. Identity drift. Most men wake up as whoever they happened to be yesterday, carrying the same limitations, accepting the same mediocrity. They never consciously choose who they're going to be today. Say this aloud now. I claim dominion over my morning. I program my mind before the world programs it for me. The winner's mindset is not born in victory. It is forged in the silence before the battle, in the moments when no one is watching, when no one is applauding, when the only voice that matters is the one inside your head commanding you to rise. Your subconscious mind is always listening. It never sleeps, never rests, never stops recording the thoughts you repeat most often. And in the morning, when your consciousness emerges from the depths of sleep, your subconscious is most receptive to new programming. This is why the first thoughts of your day are not casual. They are commands. They are instructions to your inner self about who you are and what you expect from life. Most men waste this power. They wake up and immediately fill their minds with worry about bills, anxiety about problems, or resignation about their limitations. But the man with a winner's mindset understands that morning thought is sacred territory. He guards it like a fortress. He programs it like a master programmer installing software into the most sophisticated computer ever created, the human mind. However, what I'm about to reveal next will fundamentally change how you see the relationship between consciousness and reality. You must begin each day not with the world's agenda, but with your own. Not with problems, but with possibilities. Not with limitations, but with the limitless potential that exists within you when your thinking is disciplined and your purpose is clear. Stand up right now, shoulders back, head high. Say these words with the voice of a man who has decided to win. Today I rise as a conqueror. My mind is my weapon. My thoughts are my army. I win before I begin. Every morning you have a choice. You can wake up as the same person who went to sleep, carrying the same limitations, accepting the same mediocrity. Or you can wake up as the man you're destined to become. The choice is made not in grand gestures, but in the quiet moments when consciousness returns and you decide what voice will guide your day. The winners understand this. Identity is not fixed. It's fluid. It's programmable. And the morning is when that programming occurs most effectively. Charles Schwab, who rose from laborer to president of the largest steel corporation in the world, didn't achieve this through chance. He achieved it through the disciplined practice of morning mental conditioning. Each day, before the demands of leadership could cloud his thinking, Schwab would spend time affirming his capability, visualizing success, and speaking into existence the outcomes he intended to create. This wasn't positive thinking. This was precision thinking. This was the deliberate installation of Winner's software into his subconscious mind. John D. Rockefeller, who built one of the greatest fortunes in history, understood that wealth begins in the mind long before it appears in the bank account. His mornings were spent not in anxiety about money, but in absolute certainty about its arrival. He would sit in contemplation, seeing himself not as he was, but as he intended to become. Now, let me reveal Carnegie's secret 15-minute morning ritual that he used to program millionaire consciousness. He called it the Steel Mind Method, and it involved 3 specific neural programming techniques that modern science has proven to literally rewire brain chemistry for success. These men knew what most never learn. The mind that is disciplined in the morning becomes disciplined throughout the day. The thoughts that are controlled at dawn become controllable at dusk. The identity that is programmed before breakfast becomes permanent before bedtime. But this requires war. War against the lazy thinking that wants to sleep in. War against the undisciplined mind that wants to drift. War against the old identity that wants to remain comfortable in mediocrity. You must become violent with your morning routine, not physically, but mentally and spiritually. You must declare war on every thought that doesn't serve your highest vision. You must execute every habit that keeps you small. Carnegie's first technique was what he called identity anchoring. The moment his feet touched the floor, he would stand before his mirror and declare, "I am Andrew Carnegie, Steel King of America. My mind commands millions. My decisions shape industries." He didn't say, "I will be," or "I hope to become." He declared present tense identity with absolute conviction. Write this down. I do not negotiate with weakness in the morning. I eliminate it. The morning ritual of winners is not complex, but it is non-negotiable. It begins with the alarm, not as an enemy, but as an ally calling you to greatness. When it sounds, you do not hit snooze. You do not bargain with comfort. You rise immediately, because winners understand that how you respond to the first challenge of the day determines how you'll respond to every challenge thereafter. The moment your feet hit the floor, you speak your intention into existence. Not quietly, not in your head, but aloud with the voice of a man who expects obedience from life itself. I am awake. I am alive. I am here to win. Then you move to the mirror and look into the eyes of the man who will either conquer this day or surrender to it. And you speak to him with the authority of a general addressing his troops. You are not the same man who went to sleep. You are stronger, wiser, more determined. Today you advance. Today you build. Today you become. But here's the third and most devastating morning mistake. And this one will surprise you. It's not what most men do wrong, it's what they do right, but at the wrong time. Even men who exercise, who read, who plan, destroy their potential by doing these things in the wrong sequence. The order of your morning actions determines whether they amplify each other or cancel each other out. This is not positive thinking. This is identity programming. This is the installation of Winner's software into the operating system of your mind. Next comes the written word. Take pen to paper and write your definite chief aim. Not because you've forgotten it, but because repetition is the mother of mastery. Write it with the same conviction as a king signing a law that will govern his kingdom. Carnegie's second technique was neural pathway carving. He would write his definite chief aim exactly 7 times, each time with increasing emotional intensity. Modern neuroscience now proves this creates multiple neural pathways to the same destination, making success inevitable rather than possible. I, your name, am committed to your definite purpose. and will achieve it through your method, by your deadline. Nothing will stop me. Nothing will slow me. Nothing will turn me aside. Read it aloud. Feel the weight of those words. Let them settle into your consciousness like seeds planted in fertile soil. If you love this transformational truth as much as I do, definitely press that like and subscribe button. Because what I'm about to reveal next, Carnegie's third and most powerful technique, will separate you from 99% of men who wake up hoping instead of commanding. The power of morning visualization cannot be overstated. In the quiet moments after you've spoken your purpose, close your eyes and see your definite chief aim as already accomplished. Don't hope for it. Don't wish for it. See it as fact. If your aim is wealth, see the bank statement. If it's leadership, see yourself commanding respect. If it's health, feel the strength in your body. Make the image so vivid, so real, that your subconscious cannot distinguish between imagination and memory. This is not fantasy. This is programming. You are installing the reality you intend to create into the computer of your mind, and that computer will work 24 hours a day to make the internal image match the external experience. Carnegie's third technique was the most revolutionary: future memory installation. He would visualize his success with such vivid detail that his brain encoded it as memory rather than imagination. He would recall conversations with industrial leaders that hadn't happened yet, remember the feeling of signing contracts worth millions that didn't exist yet, and relive the satisfaction of achievements still in the future. Abraham Lincoln, before he became the great emancipator, was programming greatness into his consciousness through morning meditation on his purpose. In the quiet hours before dawn, while others worried about their problems, Lincoln was seeing himself as the man who would preserve the Union and free the enslaved. This vision sustained him through defeats, through ridicule, through the darkest hours of civil war. Why? Because he had programmed it so deeply into his consciousness that external circumstances could not shake his internal certainty. Theodore Roosevelt, born frail and asthmatic, used morning mental conditioning to transform not just his thinking, but his very identity. Each morning, he would affirm his strength, visualize his vigor, and speak power into his weak body, until that body had no choice but to obey the commands of his disciplined mind. But now comes the most dangerous part of the morning transformation process. This is where 99% of men fail, where even those who understand the power of morning programming lose everything they've built. You must do the same. You must use the morning to program strength where there is weakness, confidence where there is doubt, certainty where there is confusion. Say this now: my morning thoughts become my daily reality. I program success. I install greatness. I command victory. But programming is not enough. The winner's mindset demands action. After you've spoken your purpose and visualized your achievement, you must move your body in a way that confirms your new identity. This could be exercise, but it must be something that requires you to push beyond comfort. Not because you need to get fit, but because you need to prove to yourself that you will do what must be done even when you don't feel like doing it. The man who can command his body in the morning can command his destiny throughout the day. The discipline that lifts weights translates into the discipline that lifts dreams into reality. The strength that overcomes physical resistance becomes the strength that overcomes every obstacle to your success. As you move your body, speak to it with authority. You belong to a winner. You are strong. You are disciplined. You obey my commands without question. Your body is listening. Your subconscious is recording. Every movement is a statement about who you are and what you expect from yourself. Next comes the feeding of the mind. Before you consume the news, opinions, or thoughts of others, you must first consume wisdom. Read something that elevates your thinking, expands your vision, or reinforces your purpose. This is not entertainment. This is education. This is the deliberate installation of powerful thoughts that will guide your decisions throughout the day. Winners understand that the mind, like the body, becomes what it feeds upon. Feed it weakness, and it grows weak. Feed it strength, and it becomes strong. Feed it limitation, and it accepts limits. Feed it possibility, and it discovers the impossible is merely the untried. But here's the secret. Most successful men will never tell you. There's a specific sequence to morning mental feeding that amplifies everything exponentially. Read the wrong thing first, and you'll cancel out everything else. But get the sequence right, and you'll unlock what I call compound consciousness. Carnegie spent his mornings reading the thoughts of great men. Edison studied the principles of invention. Ford immersed himself in the possibilities of progress. They understood that to think like a winner, you must consume the thoughts of winners. Write this in your journal. I feed my mind only what makes it stronger. I consume thoughts that create champions. The final element of the winner's morning routine is the declaration of daily intention. This is where you bridge the gap between the vision and the action, between the dream and the deed. Look at your daily schedule and ask yourself, what must I do today to advance my definite chief aim? Then prioritize those actions above all others. Make them non-negotiable. Schedule them like appointments with destiny itself. The winner doesn't hope good things will happen. He makes them happen. He doesn't wait for opportunity. He creates it. He doesn't wish for better circumstances. He becomes the circumstance that improves everything around him. Stand up now. Place your hand on your heart and make this vow. Today, I act as the man I intend to become. Every decision serves my vision. Every action advances my purpose. I am not hoping to win. I am guaranteeing it. This is the winner's mindset. Not optimism without action, but absolute certainty backed by relentless execution. Not positive thinking without purpose, but purposeful thinking that transforms possibility into inevitability. But there's one final secret that will determine whether everything you've learned becomes permanent transformation or temporary motivation. This is the ultimate combination that less than 1% of men ever discover. The tragedy of most men is not that they lack the capacity for greatness, but that they lack the discipline to program it into their consciousness through the power of morning mental conditioning. They wake up hoping today will be different, while doing nothing to make it different. They wish for better results while maintaining the same thinking. They dream of transformation while surrendering the most powerful tool for creating it, the disciplined morning mind. But you are not most men. You understand that winners are not born, they're made. Made in the silence of morning thought, forged in the fire of morning discipline, shaped by the repetition of morning truth. Every morning you don't claim is a day surrendered to mediocrity. Every dawn you don't program is a destiny delayed. Every sunrise you don't harness is power wasted. The choice is yours, and you must make it every 24 hours. Will you wake as a victim hoping for better, or as a victor creating it? The men of history who shaped the world understood this. The morning belongs to those who would rule their lives. The dawn is the kingdom of those who refuse to be ruled by circumstance. Carnegie didn't build his steel empire in the afternoon when his mind was cluttered with problems and populated by other people's opinions. He built it in the morning when his consciousness was clear and his vision was sharp. Edison didn't discover electricity when he was tired and discouraged. He glimpsed it in the morning hours when his mind was fresh and his faith was strong. Lincoln didn't preserve the Union through evening worry and midnight doubt. He secured it through morning certainty and dawn-time decision. Roosevelt didn't overcome weakness through daytime compromise and sunset surrender. He conquered it through morning declaration and sunrise strength. These men knew what you must now accept. Greatness is not an all-day affair. It's a morning decision that echoes throughout the hours that follow. Here's the ultimate secret combination that creates permanent transformation. Neural pathway carving, plus identity, anchoring, plus future memory installation, pulse compound consciousness sequencing, inevitable success. When these four elements work together in the precise morning sequence, they create what Carnegie called consciousness fusion, the point where your programmed identity and your actual identity become indistinguishable. Write these words where you will see them every morning. I win in the morning. The day merely confirms what I've already decided. The winner's mindset is not complicated, but it is demanding. It requires that you treat your morning routine as sacred, your morning thoughts as powerful, your morning decisions as destiny-determining. It demands that you rise before excuses can wake up, that you program your mind before the world can corrupt it, that you declare victory before battles begin. Most importantly, it insists that you understand this fundamental truth. You are not at the mercy of your circumstances. Your circumstances are at the mercy of your morning consciousness. The alarm that rings tomorrow is not calling you to another day of mediocrity. It's summoning you to greatness. It's inviting you to step into the identity of the man you were born to become. But you must answer that call with the discipline of a warrior, the focus of a general, and the certainty of a king claiming his rightful throne. Say this aloud. Tomorrow morning, I rise as a conqueror. My thoughts are weapons. My words are commands. My actions are unstoppable. The transformation begins at dawn. The victory is won before breakfast. The future is secured in the silence of morning contemplation. This is not theory. This is law. This is the way of winners. This is the path of champions. This is your invitation to join the ranks of men who don't hope for greatness. They program it. They schedule it. They guarantee it through the power of disciplined morning thought. And if this message has awakened something inside you that's been sleeping, subscribe now. This is just the beginning of something deeper, something higher, something real. When you're ready for the next level of transformation, I'll be here, walking this path with you, one morning at a time, one disciplined thought at a time, one winning decision at a time. The morning belongs to you. Claim it. Command it. Conquer it. Your winning life starts now.